and upset. They say, we came to you because you could have brought us to life, they say. And now we have to go to the grave together. So I ask you today, how many ghosts are going to be around your bed when your time comes?
No matter how much emotion and feeling you may have or how much hurt you may have, life has to go on. I can't stand in the past and bathe in what was wrong.
You want to make a change? You have to change your vision of who you are. You have to begin telling yourself a different narrative. And the narrative you tell yourself about yourself is everything. And if you tell yourself that you're a scared, undereducated kid whose family has never accomplished anything, let me tell you what you will become. A scared, undereducated kid never accomplishes anything because that's what you believe. You tell yourself that story enough and it will become real. On the flip side, you could tell yourself a story of you're a learner. You learn faster than most people. You're willing to put in more work than most people. You're willing to read more books than most people. You're willing to spend an inhuman amount of time every day improving your mind simply by getting new ideas into the system.
10 years of motherfucking work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, is gonna pay off.
Just like all of us, we all had our tests. God gives us our tests to really show how strong we really are. Tests that we don't even know. Maybe losing our parents at a young age. Or maybe losing somebody that affected our family. Or did something that somebody was rich. Just whatever it may have been. That may have affected us. Maybe for a matter of years. And that's what it's really come to, overcoming the adversity in life. It's what happens when you deal with that adversity. What are you gonna do? You gonna lay down for it, or you gonna keep fighting it? And that's what life's about: fighting adversity, overcoming adversity, and see what kind of person are you gonna be. Bitter and mean because life wasn't kind to you, or you figured it wasn't kind to you, or you gonna live life to its fullest means.
And most of what you are trying to accomplish today or tomorrow is the same thing you were trying to accomplish 20 years ago. You're the same person that you were then. If you lose that little spark that kept you motivated, because that's the most important thing. That's the thing that's going to bother you more than anything else. You will look at yourself one day and you won't know who you are because you don't remember who you were. Sometime along the way, or maybe at 13 or 14, we let go of the little person that kept us going. That person, when we get about 13 or 14, we get embarrassed of him. And we push him aside and we don't listen to him anymore.
Let's go, let's go. Good morning, family. Rise and shine. Super excited to be on here with you guys. Ready to go ahead and take this thing over to YouTube. It is February 2nd. Let's go ahead and dominate the week. But first and foremost, before we get started, go ahead and drop some gratitude down in the chat. I'm super excited. I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys. I'm grateful for the family, grateful for health, grateful for the abundance that is already on the way. So go ahead and drop in the chat and let's go ahead and dive into today. All right. So awesome. My topic for you guys is going to be a good one. Grab your pens, grab your notebooks. Here's the topic. The 7 causes of mediocrity, right? This is 7 things that I believe nobody can really run from. These are things that we all go through, but it's really going to make sense as you guys go ahead and go through these, right? So go ahead and check this out. The price of mediocrity. 95% of people, they don't get to live a life that they want because they tend to choose living life of mediocrity instead of going after what is truly inside of them, right? So here we go. Number 1, first thing is first, the rear view mirror syndrome, right? How many of you guys have seen so many people get caught up in living in their past life, right? They're still living in their high school days. They're still angry about 3 weeks ago about the person that cut them off driving in the road. start to understand that for most of the times, it takes you be willing to get outside of what you're normally used to go ahead and get to the new level. So a lot of us, we're so stuck in what you did wrong in the past, what you failed at, what didn't work out. You're so worried about replaying what happened that you're not even pre-playing your future. So for most of you guys, I don't really care what happened in your past. I don't really care where you're at right now. I'm focused on where you're going. I was broken homeless 4 years ago, living out of my car, $33,000 in debt. So if I would have just kept looking at everything that was wrong that was happening in my life, all the debt that I had, losing my sister to cancer, struggling with bills, not having a job, if I kept staring at that all day long, I wouldn't be able to see into the future. It's just like your car, right? If you guys are driving your car and you're staring in the rear view too long, what happens? You're going to crash because you're not looking ahead of you. So for the month of February, I really want you guys to get serious and get clear on what you see for yourself coming in to this month, right? You've got to be able to see it before it happens. Your subconscious brain is 30,000 times stronger than your conscious. That's why you've really got to take the time to read your personal development, to actually read your goal card every day. So many of these little things that don't seem important really end up creating the bigger picture, okay? Number 2, a lack of purpose. You've got to really start thinking about, why do you guys wake up every day and what's going to really get you moving? The first thing is, who are you doing this for outside of just you? Is it for your family? Is it for your loved ones, right? Do they have health issues that you guys need to pay for? Start really putting a purpose in plan so things are going to be able to move in your favor, okay? One of the secrets to overcoming mediocrity is to living a life of purpose. To become the person that you need to be, you need to create success, freedom, and a quality of life for everybody around you. So, when people look at you, you should have a certain standard when people look at you in your life, right? Your work ethic, your passion, your organization, your schedule. When people see you, the only thing they should be able to say behind your back is like, yo, he is always on the move. She is on her stuff, right? So this is where it begins, being able to really figure out your purpose and why you exist. They say your purpose is for you. Your gift is to be able to give it away to other people, right? And I believe the biggest for a lot of us is impact, being able to give back to others. Number 3, isolating incidents, okay? With this one, you got to realize the real impact and consequence of everything that we do in our life, right? The little things that don't seem important, believe it or not, they create the bigger picture. So when you go out to eat your next meal today, when you go out, eat your breakfast, you eat your lunch, and you go out and you eat that junk food, you go out and you keep eating meat continuously, you're not going to feel the effects right away. The sugar is not going to affect your body immediately, but over time, the compound effect is eventually going to hit. So is your compound effect, my question for you, is it working for you or is it working against you? Are you doing the daily routines to go ahead and actually make life really happen? Just like the gym. You guys go in there today, you're not going to really see the difference, but over time, you will. It's the same thing when you get on Go Live. It's the same thing when you call your mentor every day. It's the same thing when you journal, when you meditate, when you actually write down what you learn. You're not going to see the results. You're not going to see the money the first day that you do it. But over time, you're planting the seeds. And I'm telling you, the cause and effect is real. If you're doing the right causes, you're going to have the effect that you're looking for, right? But it goes the same way, vice versa. So next one, you ready? Number 4, this is going to be known as a lack of accountability, okay? My goal for you guys today, what I would do is I would go in the chat and I would grab somebody today to go ahead and be your accountability partner. This is so important. It's just like the gym. How many of you guys have went to the gym by yourself? And how many of you guys have actually went there with somebody else, right? You've probably been able to do more weight with somebody spotting you, with somebody pushing you, with somebody really bringing out the energy inside of you. Same thing goes with this business, right? An accountability partner to keep you in check. Are you waking up in the morning? Are you getting on Go Live? Are you actually plugging in trades? Are you getting outside of what you're normally used to doing? And now you guys can challenge each other. Now you guys can make it a fun, friendly competition. But this is how you start to grow, right? Everybody needs somebody to keep them accountable. If you don't believe me, let me ask you this. Every great player, 11-11, has what? They have a coach, right? They have someone to keep them accountable. Same thing with you guys. I believe that's very important. All right, next. Where are we at? Number 5. 5 is going to be known as right here. This is known as your circle of influence. Okay, the first thing going into your circle of influence, you guys hear me talk about it a lot, but I think this is very important for you to understand. As far as your circle of influence goes, the 33% rule, right? 33% of my time, 33% of your time should be spent with a mentor, right? With someone that has the knowledge and experience that you're looking for, right? That's one piece of it. The other 33% should be individuals that you guys can hold accountable, right? Just like I just told you guys right now, you're at a similar skill set level, but now you guys can hold each other accountable. Now you guys can create friendly competition. And the last 33% should be individuals that you can actually mentor, that you can actually help get to the next level, right? So that's how you start breaking down your time. And going into the next one, okay? That's your circle of influence. Who are you hearing? Who are you seeing? Who are you around on a daily basis? Number 6 is going to be lack of personal development, right? When I first came in the industry, I understood it as personal development. Now that I've had some maturity, I see it a little bit different. I see it as personal undevelopment, right? Truth be told, a lot of us coming inside of this industry, you got to throw away most of the things that you know because most of it is garbage. It's not true. Right? It's not just about working hard. It's about working smart as well. So some of these things I had to really get out of my mind to learn the new ways of money, right? Believe it or not, you can actually make a full-time income from your cell phone. You guys, there's a 22-year-old that made an 8-year-old that made 22 million doing toy reviews on YouTube. So it's safe to say there's ways to go ahead and make it happen in today's day and age. But 10 years ago, everyone thought that was crazy. So my goal for you guys is to take away most of the things that we know and come in here with an open mind. Be a sponge, right? When you come in, you're listening to your Go Live educators. When you're listening to your mentors, odds are they're giving you the information because they've seen what happens when you get on the 1%, when you get on the 4% of actually the wealth, okay? Last but not least is going to be lack of urgency. I believe this is such an important piece when it comes to success, right? Everybody's heard the old story, the slow turtle and the fast hare. With success, I believe success loves speed. You cannot move slow when it comes to leveling up. Why? Because at the end of the day, I would rather you go ahead and bust out the work that you would do in a month or two than what you would do in 6 months to a year. You know what that's called? That's called condensing time frames. Because the work that you would do in 6 months, if you condense that into a month, your work ethic, that's 2 completely different levels. You might not hit that goal, but I'm telling you right now, that's why they say if you aim for the stars and you miss, you'll land on the moon. That's where that comes from. I believe so many people, you aim too low and you hit it. So what I've come to learn is I want you to aim higher, and even if you miss, you're still at a great level. So the 2 biggest things when it comes to a lot of the leaders that any of you guys look up to is 2 things. You ready? Number 1, they have the belief. They know for a fact that the industry of network marketing creates more millionaires than any other industry combined other than real estate. They understand that between Forex, crypto, that's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So we've combined 2 of the biggest industries that exist. So they have the belief, right? They understand that this works no matter what anybody has to say. Number 2, they have what's called a sense of urgency, right? They understand that at the end of the day, if there was a pot of gold, right? If we're sitting at a rainbow and there's a pot of gold, would you guys wait a whole year to tell your friends about it? Or would you want to get your family, your best friends, anybody that's close to you, getting a piece of this right here, right now with you, right? There's no reason why everybody can't eat together. So leaders, we move with a sense of urgency because we understand every second counts. And at the end of the day, success loves speed, right? Momentum builds the more that you throw gas on the fire, right? So to go ahead and cover back through the 7 causes of mediocrity, number 1 is rear view syndrome. Stop looking in your rear view and start looking forward ahead at your future. Number 2 is a lack of purpose, right? Really sit down and figure out, why do you exist and why are you meant to have your last name ring for decades? Odds are it's probably some sort of impact, right? To be able to serve, to be able to give. Number 3, isolating incidents, right? Every second counts. Every action that you take today is going to shape your destiny. Number 4, a lack of accountability. You guys need an accountability partner. 5, your circle of influence, right? Make sure you're listening, you're reading the right circle, you're around the right energy. Number 6, a lack of personal development, right? personal development, and last but not least is going to be a lack of urgency. So if you guys can go ahead and draw a line in the sand from yesterday to today. Yesterday was the old you of mediocrity stepping in from February 2nd to the rest of 2022. You are raising the standards. You are no longer living in a state of mediocrity. You are living in a state of abundance, success, and limitless. So any questions you guys have, go ahead and open up, and I got you. What we got for the day? Let's go. Let's go. All right, family. I appreciate you. Go out, dominate today. If nobody told you today, you are a leader, you are unstoppable, you are powerful, and I will see you guys at the top because the whole squad is coming together. Let's get to work.